I'm sorry, very, very, very apologetic that people feel left out. There hasn't been that much to this point, and all the details now are to come. If the concept, as people learn about the concept, if they say, no, you might think it's viable, DHS, but we don't, then it doesn't go forward. If they say, okay, it's viable, but we really get into it with providers to work through those details. And this is, to Dennis's point, at the end of the day, these discussions over the next few weeks with the providers, who all, we hope, will come to the table, anybody that wants to be, that it's a business model discussion, right? It's a discussion both about business models, and then it's a discussion also about delivering care to patients. And it's a discussion around how do we grow those home and community-based services? And how do we ensure that even as we get our fiscal savings, DHS gets the certainty of those fiscal savings and y'all do, at the same time that the result is more care coordination and more services available all the way down and into the communities. It's going to be complicated. It's going to be very complex. And you know, the process of working ourselves through this over the next 5 weeks, we're committed to. It's going to take a lot to do it, but we are very, very committed to it. If it could turn out to work, we would then spend December working with y'all to draft legislation for y'all to consider in the next session. If it doesn't work, then we won't all do that, but if it does, it's really going to end up being up to the legislature whether this happens, because the governor will accept my recommendation one way or another, and then if he wants to move forward, it's going to require legislation. We cannot do this by ourselves.
Okay, so in the evolution of that, I think since you've been here, you've taken this on and you've come up with this hybrid, this initiative that we have in front of us now. Now, Arkansas providers, associations, hospital association providers, all of the people that, and consumer advocates as well, everyone that has to come together with you to make this from here forward is what you're telling me now, that you're going to get with them. Because a lot of them obviously have not been a part of this yet, but now you want to bring them in. So who did you trust to get you to where you are now? If you didn't use the Arkansas people that's going to be a part of this process, who's going to have to get okay for this to work for our Arkansas people? Who have you been dependent on?
The primary people behind the substantive work on this is a company called Health Management Associates. Health Management Associates, HMA, is a national consulting firm largely made up of people who are former Medicaid and HHS secretaries, Medicaid directors, etc. A number of the people at HMA have been part of the design of risk-bearing, these are called risk-bearing provider organizations.
Excuse me, Director. Is HMA the group that applied for the contract that Stevens Group got? Is that the same HMA?
I believe they were one of the same.
It was PCG and somebody else. I don't know the name of it. They two came together. PCG and somebody else came together.
No, that was PCG and McKenna Long and Aldridge.
Oh, right. You're talking about the contract that we awarded to Stevens?
The contract that we awarded
yeah,
to
that was all right, you're right. McKenna and PCG was the one that did not get it.
Yeah, but I thought maybe HMA was.
Yeah, there were 6 of them that came. I don't remember the other 5.
I don't know if HMA was one of them or not.
Was the Stevens Group a part of this conversation prior to this last week? Were they a part of the sausage of this?
No, they were not part of the sausage of this.
So the Stevens Group is who we hired as the consultant, and we paid them quite a nice.
Yeah, they can't represent them. They can't. They're our consultant.
So they could not.
They're our consultant.
No, but I'm saying you could not have asked for permission to consult them in this matter as you went forward, because they have the relationship, they've met with these providers, these associations, so there's a lot of the work of the matter that they've already developed relationships, if you will, broke down some of the barriers, know some of the players, So I'm just saying for time's sake, because we're running up on a time crunch, then you could have consulted with the Stevens Group just to help in this matter. We could have made an arrangement to pay them if we needed to. We do that every day in situations that we want to do it. So wouldn't that have made a little sense from a uniformity even? And time.
The consulting group that's been involved has designed these types of organizations in other states.
But I'm talking about Arkansas.
But Arkansas doesn't have this type of organization. So they have the experience of having actually established these and working with them. Doesn't mean that, very much we want the Stevens Group working with us. One of the very first calls we made as we realized this could look like a viable model was to the chairs of the task force to ask if the Stevens Group could be brought in for the next few months to try to take this to the next level of design. We want them working side by side with us on it, not coming in after to evaluate the work.
And maybe this is my last part, Chairman, and maybe I'm, missing something, but I just think when I look at the clock that we're on, and we'll get into a rush situation to do something, and then the people we represent may not be able to do the best job if we're rushed. So I'm just looking at the timeline that's been presented to me, and when we're receiving this, and just have those concerns that I'm articulating to you now. So hopefully we'll get there from henceforth, and we can get this thing done the right way with all people being properly considered.
Yeah, I hope so. And like you, I wish I had started this back in May or June when I first got here, and it would have been nice if I had.
Thank you.
So a couple, I want to make one point is